Well, usually the centerpiece is what is on the table. Everybody's looking at it, but what if your centerpiece went over the table? With one $50 investment, you might have a new world of options putting together a beautiful party table. Studio 5 contributor Kelly Lonnecker is leading the way for us. So first of all, you've brought us a lot of fun, beautiful things to look at today.
Oh, well, thank you. It's always fun to pull things together.
I love it. Okay, but we're talking bigger, longer. We're wanting to go over the table.
Yes, think vertical, right?
Vertical over the table.
I like to actually think of this, doesn't it kind of feel like a frame around your table?
I feel like it's very special. Like I feel like you've gone the extra mile.
Something magical is going to happen here, right?
Yes,
and
I love it.
I love it, especially for like a holiday where you're trying to create a memory and a gathering together. And it's just like, this is a special place. Come to our special place and really fun. So this is an over the table rod. If you're looking for it, they make them in all sorts of colors and styles. This one's just on Amazon. Price point, you're looking at about $50.
Okay.
But you have so many possibilities with this. Think about like baby showers over a dessert table, or even just a dessert table for Thanksgiving. This can be used in so many different ways.
It really elevates whatever you have going on.
Yes.
Tell me about the rod itself. It's wrought iron? It's wrought iron. And
it's
how does it attach?
It's literally like 4 or 5 pieces. So you're going to have a piece on each end that goes onto the table with a clamp, so it's just a screw clamp, and then the top piece is just one bar that screws together, and it can lengthen or shorten to a really long table or a shorter table. So that's the really fun thing about it, is it's universal for a lot of different applications.
Have you found it in different stylings? Like, could you find a wood one, or do you have to?
So you could easily, I think, make a wood one. I've seen mostly iron or metal because it is so expandable. You can screw it. It's almost like a shower curtain where you can make it bigger or smaller on the top. If you had a set table that you wanted it for, I think a wood application would be really fun though.
I gotta ask you, was this a trial and error situation? Did you have to figure out what could attach to it, how to hold it?
No, it came together so easy. And honestly, I think of it almost like a mantle where you're thinking of more of a vertical space, whereas normally on a table we think, okay, I've got this horizontal space and I have to be careful because I can't go too high because I want people sitting across from the table to be able to talk, and I can't use too much because I want to be able to put plates and food. You ever do your Thanksgiving table and by the time you're done, you're like, I don't actually think there's room for bodies.
You're getting rid of centerpieces. You're moving stuff. You're trying to like make the room.
Yes, and with this, you can actually put food on the table. You can have people, you can have this big, beautiful piece and still have people be able to talk through that table. So it's just
and I feel like it makes it really intimate. You're in here and you're like, across
you're right. It is. It's just really lovely. So.
Okay, you have a couple ideas of how to style this, some different creative events you could use it for. So let's start with Thanksgiving, right?
Yes, right. So what I love is everything is really pre-made. I made one little banner and that's it. I went to Michael's, I went to their floral aisle, I picked up picks and swags and anything that I could put together. And then I did raid my neighbor's yard for some colored quake and aspens.
Oh, these are real.
Yes, so just so use what you have, raid your own. We all have a box of like random floral picks that we've got from some. So just kind of put things together. Zip ties are going to be your friend here. But I basically just mimicked on both sides, pulling together fun little elements to create the feeling. I kind of wanted this like woodsy, fun, whimsical vibe. But you can create so many different feels just by using what you pull in that feeling. So this is kind of a fun, more Thanksgiving. Again, zip ties, creating pieces and then zip tying onto the rod. I did find that top rod sometimes wants to spin a little bit, so a little bit of tape or like a zip tie to kind of anchor it in so that it doesn't spin as you're adding weight.
You could just keep adding zip ties until that baby doesn't move.
Zip ties and zip ties, and if you have a black zip ties, that's really helpful too, because then you're not needing to.
But I will say, even the white ones you have, they just blend right in.
They don't, and you can always put a leaf over it, or they really do. Another thing you want to think about is if you're going to have people sitting on both sides of your table, you do want to kind of make it you look at both sides. But something like this, where it is so full and fun, works well for both sides.
I do want to ask you though, you also suggest making sure you do have something at least in the table. Like that?
I like that tie-in. I just put something little on just because typically you don't have food on the table when people come to sit down. And I feel like this kind of finishes the frame, right? So you have your top of your frame and your sides, and then you have just a little teeny something that just kind of ties that in.
I love it. Okay, so this is more of the adult table. Right. You've got a whimsical table as well.
Absolutely. So we're talking kids' Christmas table here. Aren't these bright colors?
These are fun.
So fun. I just love all of it. It just feels so happy. Again, All of this was just off the shelf from Michael's. So don't feel like you have to like hand create this beautiful piece. Yeah. I think the dollar spot at Target, how fun. They just have so many fun little
cute little
pieces.
Things.
Yes.
And layering, that's what I see as your, like really absolutely. The key here.
Yes. So all of these garlands that you can just layer in different pieces, loop them over, pull them over, do them in different elements. I did throw together this, but this was just some vinyl cut and a Dollar Tree banner. So really easy to pull those different elements, add different textures, add different layers to kind of create that fun whimsical effect.
Here's what's gonna happen though. You're gonna have the adults wanting to sit at the kid table.
Right?
I mean, I love the adult table, but I like the kid table as well.
So
that's
fun.
So
it really
cute.
is just fun and happy. And then again, just pull in something that ties in to the table. So then you have this whole framed space that just feels magical.
You could do that for a birthday party. It could be, I mean, any
or you can have a
celebration.
balloon. Like I've seen these done with a balloon arch. So we love those balloon arches so much, but like a baby shower and use this to kind of frame with balloons. How fun.
Before I get to your third one here, I want to ask you about the table itself. Have you found anything that you need to put under so you don't damage your table?
Especially if you're using a tablecloth, this is not really abrasive. So if you're really, I have an old kitchen table, so I wasn't that worried about it, but you could definitely put one of those little felt,
you know, those pads under
yes,
there.
like a felt pad, and it would still hold just fine.
Okay.
I did not have to screw these down really tight to get them to hold. So I think a little felt pad on the top would protect.
I only ask because I just bought a new table and I won't even let my kids color like their pictures on them. Like, don't touch the table.
No, yes. Yeah, I think a felt pad would really do the trick. And then tablecloth too, obviously will add that extra protection.
Okay, we've got Christmas coming up. I can imagine the ideas that are just flowing out of you when it comes to a table for Christmas.
Well, so many different ways. Again, you can go fun and whimsy or you can go more elegant, right? So this next one is really more of an elegant one.
Look at that.
Isn't that so pretty? Again, so ornaments pulled out of my ornament box and then a couple of swags, pre-made swags, and hung them. And then again, tied in just something so simple on the table where normally we would complicate that a little more. But the ornaments hung in those different layers really just are elegant and pretty and have a little sparkle to them. So I just love it. I think it's so fun.
Do you have to worry about weight at all? Like I look at those and those big ornaments. I know they don't weigh a ton, but do you have to worry about that?
You know what? That's pretty heavy. Those swags in and of themselves are probably 2 to 3 pounds a piece. So I didn't. It's because it is made out of that like heavier stainless steel. It really could take quite a bit of weight. You might have to tighten down on your table more as you add more weight, but it didn't have a problem. The bigger problem is the rod spinning. When that weight comes, the weight wants to flip bottom. Yeah, so you're gonna have to kind of anchor that rod stable so that it stays in place and doesn't flip.
Kelly, I love this idea.
So
I love that you could use that for a buffet table. You can make it your dinner table. It's just got, there's so many possibilities.
Even if you have a standalone mantle, so if you have a mantle that has both sides, how pretty would that be?
Right above it.
Yes, gorgeous. And then you have the top and the bottom. It really does.
The ideas are flowing now. Kelly, thank you very much. These are beautiful. We love it. Okay, of course you can find more from Kelly on our website at Studio 5.